Hello, everybody, and welcome to this podcast. I know it's been a while since we've made content, but we are back today and reviewing the India and Australia semi-final Champions Trophy match that happened last night or yesterday, wherever you are in the world. So let's kick it off. Australia, they won the toss. They decided to bat first. And they had a change. Cooper Conway came in. There was the batting where they bring Fraser McGurk in as an opener. Do they put Josh Inglis as an opener? They put Alex Carey as an opener. But they brought in Cooper Conway, who has never opened ever before. I don't think. So they brought him in. And he looked really out of place against Mohammad Shami, who picked him up. I think he made 0 off 8, so it wasn't really a good start. He was very nervous. Steve Smith came in. As I said, Steve Smith came in pretty early. Steve Smith was very good in this game today. Very good. It was actually two veterans that were very good today. One being Steve Smith, the other being Virat Kohli. We'll get into Virat in a minute. But Steve Smith was looking very good. Kept on running out of partners. He did find a good partnership with Alex Carey. Alex Carey also had a very good game today. Travis Head, he made 39, so he was pretty good today as well. But Steve Smith was fantastic with the bat. Probably threw away his wicket, played a shot that he didn't really need to play. That was a bit disappointing. And I felt like that really caused damage. Alex Carey, pushed on, but he ran out of partners. He had to take unnecessary risks, or necessary risks, to get the run rate ticking. They were looking good, Australia. They were actually looking good for 280, probably even 300 plus while Smith and Alex Carey were there. But when Steve Smith threw away his wicket, maybe we were thinking maybe even 280 is a good score. Unfortunately, Alex Carey ran out of partners and had to do it a little bit by himself. He got out, and we thought, geez, they're not even going to make 270. Late hitting at the end by Ilias, got them to 260. It felt like 20, 30 runs short. So the run out, of Carey and the Steve Smith, playing that silly shot, which wasn't necessary by Steve Smith. He could have easily got 100 on this pitch today, and he lost it completely with that shot against Mohammad Shami. So when those two got out, that's so disappointing. And when India were chasing, you just felt maybe they're 20, 30 runs short. In the end, kind of felt like that way in the runs. India, with their bowling. Mohammad Shami is the leading wicket taker alongside Matt Henry. So that just shows you how good Mohammad Shami is. Probably would have been a different result in the BGT. But Virat Kohli, he's only 10 runs behind Ben Duckett for the leading run scorer of this trophy. So that shows you how well India are going. Mohammad Shami is leading the wickets along with Matt Henry. Virat Kohli is only 10 runs behind Ben Duckett, who will not play again in this tournament. So there's a good possibility that Indian players could have leading wicket takers, leading run scorers with Virat Kohli and Mohammad Shami. So very, very good by Virat Kohli, very good behind Mohammad Shami. India's run chase. They lost a wicket early, but the real problem was Australia's catching. That was just terrible. Maxwell had an awful game, in my opinion. Had a shocking game. There has never been a big game player, Maxwell. He just chokes in semi-finals, finals. Just doesn't make runs. Never makes runs in a semi-final or final. I said on Twitter, last night or yesterday, or X as it's called, I'd play a traffic cone in a final over Maxwell. And that's what he felt like. He felt like an absolute traffic cone. Dropped a very simple catch, blame someone else for that catch, for getting in the way. Didn't make any runs. It was a very disappointing result by Glenn Maxwell. Unexpected. Very good in group stages. Very good. We saw against Afghanistan, he made that double hundred. In bilingual series in ODIs and T20s, he's fantastic. Semi-finals and finals, no. Don't think you should play him. Saw that last year against South Africa. He made that 200 against Afghanistan. Played South Africa the next game. I think he only made 6 or 7. So he's just not a big game player, Maxwell. But India, Sharma got dropped. Cooper Conley also had a bad game. He dropped a catch that should have been taken. Labuschagne dropped a difficult chance he had to run. Catches win matches. You don't really say that with Australia. Catching cost them the match, but I think it did. I think their fielding was way below par compared to India's, who were very good, especially Iyer, who ran out Carey. That was very good. So I thought India outperformed Australia in the field. And when you outperform Australia in the field, you go a long way to winning this match. But we'll get to the chase now. As I said, Steve Smith one end, Virat Kohli the other end. Fantastic game. Deserved 100. Both players deserved 100. Kohli just missed out. But he's running. We know what Virat Kohli is all about in run chases in ODI cricket. And once again, he's won the match for India. Once again, winning the match for India. Pandya, made runs late, but the damage was done by Virat Kohli. And that's probably why he's debated as one of the greatest ODI players of all time. Big game player. Steve Smith's a big game player. But Virat Kohli is just levels above anyone else, including Smith, including Root, including Williamson in white ball cricket. It's really not a debate, to be honest. He did it once again. Yes, I said Pandya, runs at the end, but Australia just didn't get to that 280 mark, did they? It showed that there were 20, 30 runs too short. And India really weren't untroubled. Shubman Gill is probably a concern for India. He's been touted as this power, power player. He's a once in a generation player. He hasn't shown the form lately. He was awful in the BGT where he got dropped. Hasn't quite had the best tournament. He didn't do well in that semi-final against Australia. Class as a once generation, hasn't found his form yet. But it was all about Virat Kohli. He was absolutely fantastic. Sharma, even Sharma made a couple of runs against Australia. So it was down to Virat Kohli and Australia just being 20 to 30 runs short of their target. So India, they've been playing all their matches in the UAE. That wasn't the difference why Australia lost. The pitch was pretty good. I thought the pitch was very good for both teams. But like I said, Australia just, if they made 20 more runs, probably would have won. So it had nothing to do with India playing in UAE because it wasn't really an absolute minefield, was it? Carey was going at run a ball. He was hitting sixes off spinners. So I thought the pitch was pretty good. So India into the final. They will play the winner of South Africa and New Zealand. I will do a show. We got content coming up. We've got the New Zealand, South Africa. I will do that show coming up tomorrow or tomorrow night, depending on if that match ends very early. I might even do that straight after the match. Time zones in Australia, hard to do it after the match. I wanted to really do this video after the match, but it was 3 a.m. I'm really in bed, so unfortunately couldn't do that. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, and definitely for the final, we will be doing content for the final. Ideally, hopefully after the game. Hopefully, it can be a little bit of a blowout. It can end early, but yeah, it's just a bit too late with the Australian time zone to do it straight after the final, which we actually want to do on this channel. We want to release content as soon as possible. But having said that, we haven't done content for a couple of weeks. We do want to send out 3 quick videos This will be the first one. The South Africa, New Zealand will be the second one, and the final will be the third one. And then we'll see what we can do after that. There's not much cricket being played after that. No test series until no big test series until England. You've got IPL coming up. I'm sure someone else will do that. I'm not an IPL guy. I might actually do some Australia domestic videos, some team videos, because it'd be very interesting to see what Team Australia puts in the 2027 World Cup. Sorry, the next World Cup, the 50 over World Cup. So that will be very interesting to see, because I think there should be a lot of changes to that team. Probably a few players that will play their last World Cup, like Stark, Smith, Cummins, Hazelwood, if you want to play them. So a couple of retirements after that for Australia in the next World Cup, 50 over World Cup, but we'll see. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and goodbye for now.